Kia ora koutou. Day 14 of the challenge, the final day. This morning started off pretty slow with not much in my price range. I spotted a decent setup and took a clean trade on SONM. Only to realise I was still in my paper trading account. So let's have a look. So SONM popped around 8 o'clock and I can't remember what stock I was looking at. Anyway, I came across to this and it was pushing up here and pulled back, and I decided to get in as it came down close to the 9 EMA. So I got in at 159. So my entry was around here at 159 on that red candle. It dipped a little bit and then pushed pretty much straight away. So I held, pulled back a little bit here, a little bit of light selling, held the VWAP on this next green candle, pushed up, and then on this candle pushed up here to the previous pivot point or previous high. And I took my exit at pretty much the high of this red candle on the bid at $1.81. So it was a good trade, 22 cents a share. So I was pretty happy with that trade. Read it really well, got a good entry on the pullback, and looking at the support level here off the 9 EMA, and good read on the exit as it came up to this pivot point here. Saw that there was a bit of a wall there and sold into that on the bid there straight away, and got out pretty quickly. So it was a good trade. Even though it was a paper trade, still good read. It then pulled back, and I thought about, I'd obviously realised after I got into the trade that I was in the SIM account, not my live account. So I switched over to my live account, and it had an extended pullback here, back down to this level here, and it sort of pushed and dipped, and I just didn't take a live trade on it. I didn't trust it. And then when it pushed up here and couldn't push above that pivot then and pulled back to the 20 EMA again, I was just like, nah, I'm not going to take a live trade on it. I was pretty tired last night. I hadn't slept well before the session, and the last couple of nights have been pretty late, tiring nights. So I just decided to call it then and walk away. So no live trades last night. The other stocks that I did see in the morning were ULY, and this was too expensive. Wow, it was a bit expensive for me with the current size of my account, but possibly could have taken a trade. But the range on it is pretty big, and the spreads on it were pretty big as well, I think. But this had pushed up just before 7 o'clock, and I had just got up and turned on my software, and I'd seen this pushed up here, pulled back, and was slowly grinding back up. So I took a position here at 973, around this level about here on this red candle. So I got in there and held through to $11.30. When it pushed up here, good volume in this candle. I took my exit at 11.30, which is on the bid again around here. So good read on that one. Had to hold through this pullback here, but it didn't go below my stop. So my stop was the bottom of this red candle here, around 9.30. And I traded it kind of like it was in my live account, because I could only afford about 12 shares. And that, it was still over well over $1 a share. So if I traded that in my real account, I actually would have made a decent profit of around $18 even with 12 shares. So that wouldn't have been too bad. And then as it pushed up here, I looked to get in for the pushback over, or pushback closer to the high, but it rejected. And because I was in my paper account, I didn't stop out properly on this trade. Another stock sort of popped up, and that was DTIL that I saw popping up. That was a bit closer to my price range, around $5. So I switched across that without stopping out on my paper trading account and came across here. I missed this here, and then it started pulling back, and it pulled back to the 20 EMA, and once again I didn't take it in my live account. I took it as a paper trade. Just didn't know if it was didn't know if I could trust it. So I was in here at 544, and this is where I should have exited on that paper trade at around 570. That would have been a decent trade on the read. I put these yellow lines in here for where I was going to stop out and where I was going to take profit. So I wanted to take profit around 576, but it was only 3 or 4 cents off that, and I should have just taken it off the table when it hit resistance here, around 573. Yeah, should have taken it off the table at 570. But I didn't, and it came down, and I ended up stopping out. Well, actually, it went right through my stop, and then I took it as it was coming back up. And then, of course, it came back up, back to 573. That's all right. So that was pretty much it for the morning. There was one other stock, actually, I thought about taking a trade on, but ZVSA was a penny stock. It's pushed up before recently, I think, and this popped up to over $1, and as it was pulling back, I was looking for it to hold and make a push higher. I had missed the first initial push up to $1, and I missed this second push here, and I saw it basically as it was sort of coming off that top of that pivot point here, just at $1. But it didn't hold. It came all the way down to the 20 EMA, broke through that, and it put in a green candle here, but just couldn't prove that it could push higher or keep going up, and reverse the downward trend. So, and it basically came back all the way down to where it started. So that was a no trade on this one as well. And that was pretty much it. I was tired this morning and hadn't slept well, so in some ways it was probably for the best. While I didn't get a live trade in, I'm still really happy with how I read the setup and managed the entry and exit on SONM. Finishing the challenge with a good decision-making process, even if it was in a sim, still feels like a win. That wraps up my 2-week training challenge. I'll take a bit of time now to reflect on how it went overall, what worked and what didn't, and what I can improve on going forward. If you followed along so far, ngā mihi, thank you, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Hei a pōpō.